There are two basic types of leader and tippet material. There's nylon and there's fluorocarbon. Now there are lots of different formulations of each, but the basic materials are nylon and fluorocarbon. And there's a little bit of difference, okay? Nylon is less expensive than fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is about 3 times as expensive as nylon. Nylon is easier to knot, so if you're a little bit insecure with your knots, nylon is going to knot easier for you. It's going to be easier to draw those knots tight because it's a little more flexible than fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon's just a little bit stiffer. Now, they're both about the same strength per diameter, so a 4X tippet in nylon or fluorocarbon is going to be about the same strength. So, you know, you should probably use nylon most of the time, but when do you want to use fluorocarbon? So there are a couple properties of fluorocarbon that makes it useful. Probably the most important is that fluorocarbon sinks quicker than nylon. Nylon is almost neutrally buoyant, and if you get a little grease or oil from your hands on it, it'll actually float. Fluorocarbon will sink quicker. So when you're fishing things like streamers and nymphs and you're trying to get that fly down quicker, fluorocarbon is going to help that. Now there are a couple other properties of fluorocarbon that people think are important. One is that it's a little more abrasion resistant than nylon, so if you're fishing around a lot of rocks or you got a fish with sharp teeth that's going to abrade the tippet, fluorocarbon is going to give you a little bit more strength over the long term. And also, maybe not as important, and I'm not so sure how valid this is, but fluorocarbon is a little less visible in water. So if you're in a clear water situation where fish are spooky and they might see the tippet, fluorocarbon may give you a little bit of an edge. Now what a lot of people do is they use a nylon leader because they want most of the leader to float, and then they'll just attach a fluorocarbon tippet to the end of the nylon leader. Now, fluorocarbon and nylon are a little bit difficult to knot together. You can do it with a good knot, but a much safer and easier thing to do is to use a tippet ring and tie the tippet ring on the end of your nylon leader and then just tie your fluorocarbon tippet to the tippet ring, and then you've got a secure connection. And if all this stuff about nylon and fluorocarbon confuses you, just use nylon. It's cheaper, it's easier to knot, and it's going to work for you.